Hello, hello, hello. It is me once again here to talk about Full Night to the Apocalypse. This time we'll be talking about chapter 156, which is titled In Search of Friends, where we get the chapter cover being current Percival and pre-time skip Percival, showing a height comparison between them. So I'm pretty sure Percival's confirmed height is like what, 4'11". So wouldn't that mean like his current one, like his current height is about 6 foot? Damn. Or like 5'11" at least. At most. At least, yeah. Damn. Growth spurts be going crazy. Then we go to the next page where we see Elizabeth and Meliodas discussing Merlin and where she could be. With Meliodas mentioning that despite how long that he's known her, she still can't like get a read on what she's thinking. And then we get onto the next page, we see Meliodas and Elizabeth in their bed quarters, and obviously from how Meliodas is dressed, he's trying to get in there like swimwear. Don't blame him. Look at Elizabeth. But he confirms that the news about like Merlin serving Arthur seems to have been false. Seems to have been a false report, as we know that the Merlin that was by Arthur's side was a fake.
I knew it!
With Elizabeth mentioning that Merlin would probably be shocked to see how Arthur is right now, which really makes you wonder where on earth she is then and why she's been gone for so long. Meliodas mentions like, they still don't have a full grasp of Camelot yet, even despite, having a entrance there. And he just mentions how they're like constantly exposed to invasion and how it's been getting worse and worse over the course of the 2 years, and that Merlin's power and smarts would definitely help in this situation. And we get this nice little panel here showing her in a new fit on a chair with a dragon statue back there. I'm not sure if that represents anything, but we do know that Merlin did have a crush on Meliodas, because who didn't, goddammit, with her 2 magical spells by her. And then obviously chains surrounding it as well. I've seen people speculate that the chains might represent that she is indeed like maybe locked up in a tower somewhere, maybe by Alfred himself or some other entity, Lady of the Lake possibly, who knows. And yeah, that could be an argument that she's just locked or sealed away somewhere, and that's why she hasn't been able to be at Alpha's side. And it would make a valid point for that, because I swear in Arthurian legends, or like in some of the tales, some depictions of it, the Lady of the Lake Vivian imprisoned Merlin somewhere, or at least tried to kill him or something along those lines, for some odd reason, to keep him with her. Or that's one version. But I do know that the Lady of the Lake / Vivian, because I'm pretty sure in Arthurian legends they're depicted as the same person, had something to do with Merlin not being at Arthur's side for a while, aka nearly killing the wizard. But yeah, back to the chapter. Meliodas goes on to like say that he can't gripe about how Tristan and everyone else is working hard for them in this situation, with Elizabeth agreeing with him. And obviously a panel with Percival, as she says, and we're hardly bereft of all hope, are we? Because obviously, come on, man, Percival's the hope man. He's hope man. And we get to see the Percival platoon just enjoying the harvest festival, which comes once a year, going around seeing the sights with Anne and Nasians, also mentioning how hollowed out Britannia has been over the past 2 years because of Arthur's more aggressive invasion. But people are still, living their lives and enjoying themselves for what they got. It's mentioned that people need to keep themselves bright or they can't hold out. Pessimism can be seen as it's a realistic worldview, but like hope is something completely normal in human behavior to want. So that's why obviously the people of Britannia has no choice but to keep themselves up. Darcy is mentioning how big of a responsibility that they have, and that they have to sort this issue out as soon as possible. With Anne trying to get Nasians to say that it's Percival's fault, Nasians disagreeing, But Hauser interrupts their conversation, mentioning how weird it is seeing how grown Percival is, which
Yeah, that's pretty true. That's true, and yeah, that's true. That's true.
but mentioning that Narcians hasn't changed a bit. Uh, though he has grown, apparently Narcians has grown a little bit, along with their attitude as well. Percival getting Donnie to come over with him to, since there's a show happening. Him rebuting, saying that like he hopes that they don't mind a pro performer watching, since obviously that's what he was doing before traveling with Percival. And Anne mentions that Narcians has changed. It's probably due to the awakening and stuff. Even like that little moment before mentioning how serious the situation is. That's a little bit like King. More of King is in Narcians now, I bet. No Diddy. But Narcians thinking back to when Percival pulled up to save their life.
Oh my god, bro, is dick riding all you do?
Yeah, either way, Anne thanks Narcians for bringing Percival back, which they hold hands on. So, yeah, that it could be a thing that like maybe Narcians is deciding what gender they're gonna be. Maybe that's something that Anne's also picked up slightly. And with how Nakaba has been drawing Narcians in some of the panels here, who knows? But yeah, Donnie is taking a drink while Percival goes on to try and hit the target with a bow, and this is just comedy. This is just comedy. Oh my days, man! He shot off Donnie's hair again, bringing the shaved part back. Oh my days. And Narcians mentions that that's the secret behind how Donnie's hairstyle used to be, with Anne just calling the two guys idiots. Percival apologizing to Donnie, and then I'm sorry. The funny thing is, I'm pretty sure in Arthurian legend, Percival was one of Arthur's top archers. So seeing Percival being so bad at it is just it's actual peak comedy. It's genuine peak comedy. And you know another crazy thing is that Nakaba is gonna use that terrible shot, he's gonna use this, and the other time he shot an arrow for Percival to hit a clutch game winner for an arc or something. At the one time that they need this nigga to actually use a bow properly, I'm telling you, he's actually gonna be able to use it, and it's gonna be absolutely jaw dropping. I'm predicting that right now. As of me recording it, is the 10th of July. Write that down. That I predicted that. If that does happen in the future, oh my days. But Donnie's chasing around Percival with Anne telling him that, yeah, like, stop fooling around and like, let's get ready because we gotta work tomorrow. And then there's a giant earthquake, it seems. Everyone's rattled. Percival being Mr. Save-A-Ho and just catching both Narcians and Anne before they fall over, with a NPC pointing at Darkmans, and the whole kingdom just disappears, gone, like that, vanished. You know, with Veronica and Greymoor and their son, which their child, can't remember if it was a son specifically, their child, which we haven't been introduced to yet, have they've just been TP'd. Alpha hit a /TP. But yeah, we just have this huge chunk in the middle of where Darkman used to be. So Meliodas is obviously furious. Meliodas is furious at this because obviously he was just talking about how they haven't been able to do something serious about the invasion of Britannia, and lo and behold, Arthur's proving him right. Low key, that's a really big FU to Meliodas, because there's no way Arthur doesn't know that Darkmans is right next to Leonis, so he knew Meliodas would know. Arthur, you are a foul man. You are a foul man. But yeah, now the knights are in a disarray, running about. Gilfunder and Hauser getting to Meliodas, asking him for permission to infiltrate Camelot. Which honestly, you can't blame them because that's where their best friend, lives. So he's obviously in danger along with Veronica. And Meliodas tells them that, like, yo, your job is to calm down the nerves of both the knights and the people and unite them. And Hauser mentioning that that a large force needs to be sent over to Camelot. And obviously Gilfunder being a good dad, mentioning that how he hasn't heard from Chion in over a year. So he wants permission to at least go find his son, which is fair, to be honest. And yes, I am going to talk about it. These niggas grew facial hair. Gilfunder's one, it suits him. Houses got the goddamn Omni Man. It might need to grow on me for a bit, but I don't think the little mustache suits Hauser for his personality and how he can be, how we've known him. In my personal opinion, it ain't it, G. Meliodas then talks to them about about understanding how Gilfunder feels, seeing as he hasn't heard from Tristan in over a year either. So he mentions that they're gonna revisit their plans tomorrow, but they get interrupted by the Percival platoon offering to head over to Camelot. Hauser mentions that Gilfunder mentions, that Percival's just recently revived, and that the other Knights of Prophecy should also be gathered as well, with Percival mentioning that they'll find them and this time we're gonna stop King Arthur. Pretty adamant about it as well, not saying anything and then walking off, immediately giving permission because, the Knight of Apocalypse is here on the payroll, so might as well use him, right? Because Lancelot is F-Fool, Gawain is F-Fool, who knows where they are. Tristan, he seems to be in his rebellious phase, and yeah, that's the end of the chapter. My one concern with this though is I don't think Narcissians will be able to go to Camelot because I'm pretty sure it blocks out any if you're not human, then you're blocked out. The Gopher is being a doe is a leeway between that, but he's like pretty much like the second weakest sin outside of. But yeah, general thoughts about the chapter. It's nice seeing the Percival platoon hang out like old times again. I would have liked it immediately if we had just went to the next day so that we could know what kind of plan of attack that they had for dealing with Camelot. We got more mentions of Merlin, which makes you think if we're gonna see her in this next upcoming arc. Nasian seems to be changing more and more, probably due to the awakening. Some of our favorite guys have gotten facial hair, which makes you wonder how Griamore's will be. Like, will he have a full beard like his dad? But generally, this was a good chapter. We're gonna start looking for the other Knights of the Apocalypse now. So that will be nice. And yeah, so my general thoughts outside of that is I'm not rocking with the facial hair on Hauser for a myriad of reasons. But it was nice having this again little cool down chapter. Basically, that's what these last couple chapters have been, just something to calm us down from the hype that was the Cayenne family arc. And yeah, generally good chapter. Looking forward to the next one. I don't have any real theories to discuss outside of we'll probably see Merlin soon, or they'll discover where she's locked up, at least her location, if she's locked up. And I think we might get something involved with Lancelot in regards to that as well. Again, I could just be puffing smoke, I could just be missing all my shots, but I refuse to back down on the archery one, which I mentioned earlier. Percival's archery is gonna save us at one point. And yeah, that's it from me. Bye.